Thank you for joining us for the live coverage of the 42nd May 18th Democratization Movement Anniversary Commemoration. I'm Lee-seung Jae. Now we're just about a few minutes away until the commemoration event kicks off in the southwestern city of Gwangju at the May 18th National Cemetery. Now it was, of course, at this very city that citizens fought for the country's democracy from May 18th to the 27th, only to be met with brutal acts committed by the military government at the time. Now, in 1997, the National Cemetery, as well as the Day of Commemoration, were established to compensate and restore honor to the victims. Of course, to remember the hundreds who died and others who'd fought for the country's democracy, we're set to televise the 42nd May 18th Pro-Democracy Movement Commemoration event. President Yoon Suk-yeol will be in attendance at the State Memorial Ceremony, marking his very first trip outside of Seoul since taking office just last week. Now, during the visit to this cemetery back in November, the then presidential candidate Yoon Suk-yeol said he always believed in the need to reflect the spirit of the pro-democracy uprising in the Constitution document. Now, we'll be seeing what message he is set to deliver during the attendance at the commemoration event. Of course, the top office did say that his trip with the liberal stronghold as a conservative president is a groundbreaking step towards new politics and unity. Some 100 lawmakers from the People Power Party, members of the cabinet, and senior presidential secretaries are poised to join Yoon. Very rare move by the conservative politicians. So for the next hour, we will not only give you a live feed of the commemoration event, but also provide you with live interpretation. And so now we'll take you to Gwangju's May 18th National Memorial Cemetery for the 42nd anniversary event.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lee Hyun-ju, your host for today's commemoration event. The May 18 National Cemetery is a sacred center of South Korea's democracy. In May of 1980, the citizens of Gwangju cried out for democracy despite being strictly isolated for 10 days. Thanks to their desperate cries, we enjoy the deeply rooted democracy that we witness here in South Korea today. Let us now commence the commemoration of the 42nd anniversary of the May 18th Democracy Movement. First, laying of flowers and burning of incense. The President will lay flowers alongside Minister of Patriots and Veterans Affairs, President of the May 18 Memorial Injured, President of May 18 Persons of Merit, Mayor of Gwangju City, Acting Governor of Jeollanam-do Province, Mayor of Daegu City, as well as student representatives. Representing students, we have Seol Yong-jun, Kim Hyun-ji from Jeonnam National University, Im Chae-hyo, Kim Ye-jin from Joseon University, Jung In-kyung from Seojin Girls High School, Kim Jin-ryul from Incheon High School, Kim Seoyoung from High School attached to Jeonnam University, and Jin Sang-ho from Geumdang Middle School.
바로 일동 묵념.
Silent tribute.
바로 (42년이) 지났지만
42
여전히
years
그리운
have
얼굴들을
passed,
잊을
but the
수
longing for
없습니다.
their loved ones
하지만 이제는 그
linger.
아픔이
However, we now
희망으로
hope to see
피어나는
May,
5월이
a month
되길
during which
기대해
such
봅니다.
pain blossoms into
이어서
hope.
국민의례가 있겠습니다.
Next, allegiance
모두
to the
자리에서
flag.
일어나
Please rise
정면
from where
좌측에
you
있는
are and
국기를
face
향해
the
주시기
flag in
바랍니다.
front of you.
국기에 대하여
Salute to
경례.
the flag.
나는 자랑스러운 태극기
I
앞에
pledge in front of
자유롭고
태극기
정의로운
allegiance to the
대한민국의
Republic of
무궁한
Korea
영광을
for
위하여
the eternal glory
충성을
of the
다할
country,
것을
liberty,
굳게
and
다짐합니다.
justice.
바로
Rest.
다음은 애국가를
Next, we will have the singing of the national
대한민국
anthem.
교사연합
It will be
합창단의
sung until
선도에
the
맞춰
fourth verse, led by the
4절까지
Teachers
함께
Combined
부르시겠습니다.
Choir of Korea.
이어서 순국선열과
Next, moment of
후국명령,
silence to the
그리고
fallen
5.18
heroes and
민주화운동
martyrs of the May
희생명령에 대한
18
묵념을
democracy
올리겠습니다.
movement.
일동 묵념.
Silent tribute.
바로 모두
Rest.
자리에
Please
앉아주시길
be
바랍니다.
seated.
다음은 5.18
Next, we have
민주화운동의
the
진실과
progress report of
역사적
the May
의미,
18
다짐을
democratic
담은
movement that
경과
entails
보고가
its
있겠습니다.
truth, historic
미래 세대를
implications, and
대표해
resolution.
5.18
On behalf of the
민주화운동
future
유공자의
generation,
후손
we have Lee
이영훈,
Young-hun,
조선대학교 류화선
descendant
학생이
of the person of merit of the May 18, as well as student Liu Hwa-sun, who will read out their progress report.
어김없이 5월이 찾아왔습니다.
May has come
우리의
again.
푸른 5월은 42년 전
The blue skies of May here in Gwangju City is deeply rooted
더
here,
나은 미래, 희망찬
and
5월을
based on
만들기
this,
위해
we are
우리가
opening
알아야 할
and
진실을
ushering in a new
말해보려 합니다.
May, which is going to be more hopeful.
1980년 5월
In
17일
1980, May
전두환
17th,
신군부 세력은
the military
불법적으로 정권을
leaders
전탈하기 위해
of the under then President Chun
비상계엄을
Doo-hwan has
전국적으로
declared martial law
국민들은 어렵게
nationwide.
되찾은 민주화의 봄을
These citizens
이대로
have
빼앗길 수
been
없었고
feared
민주주의를
about
지키기
and
위한
nervous
저항의
about
물결이
the hard-won
전국
democracy,
각지에서 일어났습니다.
and the resistance has
42년 전
been
오늘
spreading across
광주에서도
the
민주화의
nation.
열망이 세차게
And some four
물결쳤습니다.
decades ago, here in
1980년
Gwangju, we
5월
have
18일
seen the
열시경,
waves
신부
of
세력이
democratic
동원한
movement.
군은
And in
유교령에 저항하기
1980,
위해
May 18th,
전남대학교
thousands of
정문 앞에
students
모인
gathered
학생들에게
outside the Cheonnan
무자비한
National University
구타를
to protest
행사했습니다.
against military
당일 오후
junta.
4시
They were faced
신군부
with
세력은
violent
시위대에
conflicts.
합류한 광주 시민의
And
목소리를
at
폭동으로
4
규정하고
p.m. on that day,
공수부대를
the
투입하여
government has
총과 검,
declared
장갑차를
and also
앞세워
fired
잔혹하게 진압하였습니다.
opened fire
그렇게
on the
광주의
citizens
5월은
in the
피로
Gwangju city,
물들었습니다.
and as like this,
5월
the May
20일
of Gwangju
신군부
has been a
세력은 광주로
bloodshed.
가는 길목을
And May
차단하고
20th, in
통신을 끊어
1980,
광주를
the
외부와
government,
단절시켰습니다.
the military government has
고립된
isolated
광주
and
시민들은
sealed
공수부대에
off the
맞서기
Gwangju city.
시작하였습니다.
And the residents of Gwangju
시내버스와
has
택시 200여
faced
대가 모여
in front
차량
of
시위를
these
벌이며
government,
시민들이
and
저항하자
200 taxis and buses
국민들을
have
지켜야
gathered
하는 의무가
to
있는
join the
군인들은
protest, and the
되려
soldiers,
시민들을 무참히
with the
진압하였습니다.
responsibility of protecting the citizens,
21일
have opened fire
시민들은
against
신군부 세력의
citizens.
유혈 진압에
And
대한
on May
사과를
20th, the citizens
평화적
have asked the
해결을
government
위해
to
협상을
give an
시도했으나
apology and
신군부
attempted
세력은
to carry
시민들을
out
향해
negotiations.
집단 발포를
However,
자행하였습니다.
their efforts were
그렇게
faced with an
평범한
open
우리의
fire
가족,
once again.
친구들이
And like
정확하게
this, our friends and our
희생되었습니다.
families have been
이러한
sacrificed brutally.
절망적인 상황에서도
Facing
광주
such
시민들은 질서를 유지하고
hardships
5월
and
22일부터
brutality,
26일까지
starting from the
단 한
20th
건의
of
약탈도
May
없는
and
위대한 민주시민
26th,
의식을
the citizens of
보여주었습니다.
Gwangju have been
이날
showing a
흘린
sense
피는 대한민국
of
민주주의의 소중한 씨앗이
highly
되어
mature
민주주의를
citizenship.
영원하는 국민
And this
정신으로
has
살아
become
숨쉬고
the
있습니다.
spirit of democracy here
하지만
on
이
this
자랑스러운
land.
역사는
Nevertheless,
한동안
this
광주
proud
사태라고
history
불리며
has been dubbed
철저하게
the
은폐,
protest of
왜곡되었고
Gwangju, and it has been
1988년에서야
disguised,
비로소
and
광주 민주화
only back
운동으로
in
정식
1980s, it has once again
이후
been
2011년에는
redubbed and
5.18
reconsidered
기록물이
as
유네스코
a
세계기록
pro-democracy
문화유산으로
movement.
등재되었고
And the documents related to the Gwangju
5.18
uprising has been listed as UNESCO World Heritage. And we also have the law enacted in the National Assembly regarding this, and still we are seeking the truth right now, and this will go on. And we would like to thank all of the noble sacrifices of our martyrs and fallen heroes who have given us hope. And continuing on, we will be seeking the truth, and we will be facing our attempts to find the truth. And together with the bereaved families, we will be sending comfort to these bereaved families, and we will be giving back a May of hope. And together, we shall also thank all of the people who are joining us today for your participation and presence. Thank you very much.
학생들의 바람처럼 광주로부터
Just like the
시작된
students' wish, I sincerely hope that the seeds of democracy plowed here in Gwangju can grant a hopeful May to everyone. Next, we have prepared a performance in remembrance of the deceased. Here's the truth of May. We have a video titled May Taxi Running Towards the Truth, followed by the May song by singer Lee Ji-hoon, a May Mother's Choir, and the Little Angels. The video is of a story where a person of merit, celebrity, history expert, future generations seek for the truth while riding a taxi along the 5월 road, the very site of the democracy movement.
배우님은 광주에는 자주 오세요?
Do you often come to
제가
Gwangju?
요즘 그 뮤지컬 광주라는 작품을
I
하고
am
있어요.
starring
네,
a
그래서 좀
musical
자주
titled
오게
Gwangju, and it is
저희
why
학교
I come
선배이신
here
윤상원
often.
열사 역할을 맡으셨는데
You play the
뭔가
role
특별히
of
달라진 점이
martyr.
있으신가요?
이렇게 어려운 길을
Do you see any
선택한 이유는
changes?
뭘까?
I often ask myself,
그런
why
생각들을
did
좀
these
많이
martyrs really choose on these difficult
진실을
paths?
찾아가는 그런
I think it is
길이었지
very
않았을까라는
important that they
생각도
have
하게
been seeking the
자, 우리
truth.
지금부터 그럼
And now
진실을
we shall
향해서
also seek the
달려가
truth. May Taxi Running Towards the Truth.
안녕하세요, 교수님.
Hello,
안녕하세요.
Professor.
반갑습니다. 어서 오세요. 자, 그럼 저희가 어디로 모시면 될까요?
Where shall we head off to? Let us go to Kumnan Road first.
제가 하나 물어볼까요?
네.
Can I give you a
광주
question?
민주화운동을 왜 5.18로 부른다
Why
하십니까?
do you think we call the Gwangju democracy movement May 18th
5.18이라고
movement?
부르는 건 아닌가요?
Isn't it because
예,
it
그것도
was
맞습니다.
initiated on May
신군부 반란
18th? Of
세력은
course, that's
시민들에게도
partially
폭력을
true,
행사합니다.
but the military
시민들은
government has
잔인한
carried
폭력에
out
부대지 않고
violence
한 마음으로
against citizens,
민주화를
and
요구하는
they stood
students
solemnly
하겠습니다.
against
바로 그날이
these
1980년
students, and it is
5월
the day of May 18th,
예,
1980.
그렇죠.
I believe this is a
지금
day
타고
where
있는
the citizens
이런
have
택시가
really stood on the side of the
몰려오고
students. And such
수십 개의
taxis, there were
버스가
hundreds of taxis and buses
금남로
which
강을
filled this road,
시민들이
the Kumnan
나서면서
Road, and this shows that the
시민
citizens
학생들이
have
폭력에 굴하지
taken
않고
action,
민주화운동에
and they
나섰다.
never
그래서
withered
5.18
against
게
the military
그럼
rules,
지금
and this
저희가
is why
가고
we
있는
call
이
the
길이
democracy
시민들이
movement
민주화를
May
위해
18th.
목숨을 걸고
And
달려갔던
I believe
길이겠네요.
that this
맞습니다.
specific road, the very road that we
앞에
are
있는
on
건물
right now,
보이시죠?
is
네.
the road of
전일빌딩
sacrifice.
건물입니다.
And do you
그
see this
건물에
building, the Tony's
245
building in
탄환
front of you, the 245
헬기에서
building?
쏘는
There were bullets,
245
245 bullets fired against this building. And this is why the building is called Tony Building 245.
아, 여기가 바로 역사의
This is the
현장이군요.
very history, the very field of site of history. And the plaza here, this is accompanied by two symbols. And first is an image of people really filling up this plaza. There were students and the citizens. And there were also many of the citizens who have never set aside those people who were bleeding. And this is the symbolic image and figures of this plaza.
자, 선생님 안녕하세요.
Hello.
무슨 사진을 그렇게 열심히 찍고 계셨어요?
What photography are you taking right now? I am
저희도 마침
taking
이제
filming
5월
the
길로
May
가려던
of
참이었었는데
Gwangju.
그럼 저희랑
Right
같이
now
한번
we are on the
떠나실까요?
road to Uol road. Why don't you join us?
이건 전남도청을 찍은
This
사진이네요.
is the government, provincial government of Jeollanam-do province, right? Yes, it is. I was senior high school students back then when the democracy movement broke out. And back then in the provincial government office, this was the site where the citizens had to face the violence from the military rule. And I was also held in prison for 38 days. I survived, but I saw many people who were killed back then, and this is why I really want to remember that specific day, and this is why I try to film the May of Gwangju. And I believe that the work that you are doing is really facing the truth. I should take off here. Thank you for the ride. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much once again.
네, 안녕하세요. 적십자병원은
The Red Cross building here is when the people's solidarity has been really played a big role back in the movement. There were people, there were news about a shortage of blood, and many people, whether they be students and merchants and ordinary citizens, they gathered to this hospital to donate their blood. So I believe it were really the people who really safeguarded and who protected other citizens. And let us now continue on our journey to seek truth.
네, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
Hello, good to see you. This is a taxi of a May Taxi.
반장님, 5월
Welcome
어머니
you.
집은 어떤 일을 하는
What
곳인가요?
what role does the All Mothers Club do? We consist of people, the mothers, who have been sacrificed, who have members who have been sacrificed during the May 18th democracy movement, and it is why we are trying to really comfort and take care of each other because we have the same sorrow and pain. Right now we are heading to the cemetery, and do you have any family members buried there? Yes, my brother, my older brother, he is laid in peace there. Back then he was a freshman in college, and he was on his way home from school, and he has been tortured, and he has stayed at a mental hospital for 7 years, and he finally faced death. And we really need to remember the pain and the sorrow that is behind the democracy that we enjoy
와,
today.
이 팝나무가 너무
I really
예뻐요.
love the trees here. I see beautiful trees here in spring. However, it is very sad that many people had to lose their lives and sacrifice their
우리 어머니 한
lives.
분이 이런
There was a mother who once
말씀하셨어요.
said the following. She said that each flower petal of this tree entails the truth and the sacrifice of the fallen heroes. It is very painful at times to seek truth. However, we shall never cease this journey. And this is why we have been looking for and really finding this truth. And we need to find the truth of May 1980, and I sincerely hope that we can have blossoms of hope.
전
오늘
42 years ago
이
today,
땅의 민주화를 위해
we have seen
사랑하는
many
가족,
people,
다정한
our loved
친구,
family members, our
따뜻한
friends,
이웃을
and our
잃어야
neighbors
했습니다.
who sacrificed
그
for the
아픔,
democracy of
잊을 수
this
없는
land.
슬픔과
This pain is something that
상처는
we can never
가슴에
forget, and
남아있지만
it is now engraved in
다음
our
세대를
hearts.
위해
However, going
우리가
forward, we need
함께
to stay
그
united and
슬픔과
remember this
상처를
pain,
감싸고
and we need to
위로하며
comfort each other
희망
for the
가득한
sake of the future
5월을
generations.
만들어
And we need
가야
to
할
make a May
때입니다.
of a month of hope.
묘미 없는 주름에 커다란 이름들이요 여기 죽지 않은 목숨에 이 이렇듯 봄이 가고 꽃 피고 지도록 멀리 이 5월의 하늘 끝에 꽃바람 닿도록
네, 추모 공연에 참여해 주신 모든 분들께
Thank you
다시
very
한번
much for the
감사드립니다.
performance.
공연을 보면서 우리가
As
지금
I
누리고
watched the
있는 이
performance,
민주주의가
I am once
어떤
again
아픔을
reminded
통해
of the
얻어지게 된
pain and
건지
sorrow
다시 한번
behind the
느낄 수 있는
democracy that we enjoy
시간이었습니다.
today.
시대의 아픔을 외면하지 않고 역사의
And we
부름에
shall
책임을
never
다하신
set
5.18
aside
희생자
the
한
sorrow
분께
and the pain,
깊이
and I once
감사드립니다.
again extend my deepest respect and appreciation to all of their
다음은
sacrifices.
대통령께서
And next, the
기념사를
president will deliver
하시겠습니다.
his commemorative speech.
존경하는 국민
fellow
여러분,
Koreans,
5.18 민주화운동 유공자와
people of national
유가족
merit,
여러분.
and bereaved relatives of the May
오늘
18
민주화의
democracy
성지
movement,
광주에서
I stand before you here in
여러분을
Gwangju,
뵙습니다.
the center of democracy
취임
of
후
this
첫
country.
국가
Today is the
기념일이자
first national commemoration
첫
day
지역
since my
방문입니다.
inauguration and
감회가
my very
남다릅니다.
first regional visit. I'm
우리는
filled
민주
with emotions.
영령들께서 잠들어
Today
계시는
we solemnly
이곳으로
stand before the fallen
숙연한
heroes.
마음으로 섰습니다. 고귀한 희생에
I extend my deepest
경의를
respect
표하며
to
머리
their
숙여
noble
명복을
sacrifices.
가족과 이웃,
I also extend my words
아픔을
of
안고
comfort to the people of national
살아가시는
merit, as well as
5.18
bereaved families of
민주화운동
relatives of the
유공자와
May 18th democracy
유가족 여러분께도
movement.
깊은 위로의 말씀을 드립니다. 우리는 42년 전
We still remember the
자유민주주의와
resistance of May
인권의
42 years ago, which safeguarded the values of liberal democracy and human
5월의
rights
항거를
with blood.
기억하고 있습니다. 그날의 아픔을 정면으로
Facing the
마주하면서
pain of that specific
우리는
day,
이 땅에
we have developed a liberal
자유민주주의를
democracy here
발전시켜
on
왔습니다.
this land.
5월 정신은
The May spirit
보편적 가치의
is indeed the
회복이고
restoration of these universal values
자유민주주의
and is
헌법
the
정신
constitutional
그
spirit of
자체입니다.
liberal democracy.
그 정신은 우리 모두의 것이고
This spirit belongs to all of us
대한민국의 귀중한
and is indeed an
자산입니다.
invaluable asset of the Republic of
5월의
Korea.
정신은
The May spirit,
지금도
even at this
자유와
moment,
인권을 위협하는
continues to instruct us
일체의
to strongly
불법행위에
resist the illegal acts that
강력하게
threaten
저항할
our
것을
freedom and
우리에게
human
명령하고
rights.
있습니다. 5.18은
The May 18
현재도 진행
movement
중인
is an ongoing
살아있는 역사입니다.
history.
이를 책임 있게
Succeeding this with a sense of accountability is the beginning to the prosperity of our future generations and the nation as a whole.
5월 정신이 담고 있는 자유,
The values of liberal
민주주의와
democracy and
인권의
human
가치가
rights entailed in the May spirit
속으로
shall be widely
널리
spread
퍼져나가게
across
해야
the
합니다.
world.
우리 모두가 자유와
The universal
인권이라는
values of
보편적
freedom
가치를
and human rights shall be
당당하게
enjoyed by
누릴 수
us
있어야
all.
합니다. 그 누구의 자유와 인권이
We shall
침해되는
never
것도
stand idly by
방치되어서는 안
and
됩니다.
watch one's freedom and human rights
우리
being
모두
infringed upon.
함께
We shall all
지켜야
stand
합니다.
together.
이 자유와 인권의 가치를
The
지키고
responsibility of safeguarding and
확대해 나갈
expanding such values of freedom and human
온전히
rights solely
우리의 손에
lies in
달려
our
있습니다.
hands.
이제 광주와 호남이
Now, bold economic
자유민주주의와
achievements must
인권이라는
bloom here in Gwangju
보편적
and
가치
Honam
위에
region based on the universal
담대한
values of liberal
경제적
democracy and
꽃피워야
human
합니다.
rights.
AI와
AI
첨단 기술
and high-tech
기반의 산업
industry
고도화를
needs to be
이루고
advanced going forward
힘차게
and take a
도약해야
great
합니다.
leap forward.
저와 새 정부는
My government and I will
민주
exert our
영령들이
utmost
지켜낸
efforts to succeed
가치를
on the
승화시켜
values that have been safeguarded by
번영의
our
길로
fallen
나아갈 수
heroes
있도록
and make sure
최선을 다할
that we
것입니다.
walk towards the road of prosperity.
광주와 호남은
Gwangju and the
역사의
Honam
고비마다
region have stood at the
시대가
forefront and
나아가야 할
have
길을
guided the path
밝혀주는
for the future at
선구자
each
역할을
moment of
해왔습니다.
historic challenge.
앞으로 대한민국이
Going forward,
새로운
I'm
도약을
confident that
이뤄가는
Gwangju
여정에서도
and the Honam region, the center of liberal
자유민주주의의
democracy,
산실인
will stand at the
광주와
forefront
호남이
as the Republic of
앞장설
Korea
것이라
takes new
확신합니다.
leap forward.
존경하는 광주 시민 여러분,
Fellow Gwangju residents,
저는 5월
I will
정신을
strictly and firmly
확고히
protect
지켜나갈
and
것입니다.
safeguard the May spirit.
광주의 미래를
I
여러분과
pledge to
함께
usher in a new future of
멋지게 열어갈
Gwangju
것을
together with all of
약속드립니다.
you.
올해 초 여러분께
My
손편지를
determination that
통해
was illustrated in my handwritten letter earlier
그
this
마음
year will
변치
never
않을 것입니다.
wither.
다시 한번
Once again,
민주
I pay my
영령들의
deep
정신을
respect
기리며
to the fallen heroes.
그들의 안식을 기원합니다. 그리고 5월 정신을 묵묵히
I also
이어오신
send my words of comfort and condolences to the persons of merit and bereaved families and relatives who have succeeded on such May spirit. Thank you very much for your courage and for never losing hope.
자유민주주의와 인권의
The values
가치는
of liberal democracy and human rights are the philosophy of unity that unites all of us.
그러므로
Therefore, the May spirit, which has safeguarded liberal democracy with blood, is indeed the cornerstone of public unity.
5월이 품은
Let us all
정의와
exert
진실의
efforts
힘이
to enable the power of justice and truth of May to shine eternally, going beyond generations.
5월의 정신이 우리
I'm
국민을
confident that the
단결하게
spirit of
하고
May will strongly unite
위기와
us
도전에서
and protect us
우리를
from all
지켜줄
crises and
것이라고
challenges going
저는
forward.
확신합니다. 그런 의미에서
In this sense,
자유와 정의
I want
그리고
to
진실을
highlight the
사랑하는
justice,
우리
freedom,
대한민국 국민 모두는
and the truth, and all
광주
of the
시민입니다.
citizens of Republic of
감사합니다.
Korea are the citizens of Gwangju. Thank you very much.
네, 말씀하신 것처럼 5월의 정신이
As the
앞으로도
president
영원히
has
빛날 수
mentioned,
있도록
I
우리 모두
sincerely
힘을
hope that
모아야겠습니다.
our May spirit will shine eternally going forward.
나의 5월은
My May is pride. It is all about safeguarding the democracy of the Republic of Korea.
오늘도
And
민주화,
today I
인권과
secure
평화의
the value
가치를
of the peace and
지키기에
human rights. And there are
헌신하고
many
있는
people who are dedicated
모든
to
분들에게
safeguard these values.
자부심
And I
가득한
want to thank
나의
everyone
보호를
once again.
드립니다.
I give you my May of pride. My May is remembrance and memory. I have learned that history is all about remembering the truth, and I would like to once again remember the martyrs. And it is this is the true essence of learning history, and this is why I have been writing letters and also writing songs. My May is listening.
나의 5월은 쓰러져가는 삶들의
My May
끝나지 않는
is
외침에
all
대한
about
기기
opening
울림입니다.
my ears to the
특정한
cries,
사람만이 아니라
and it
우리가
is
꼭
not only
기억해야 할
about
잊혀진
listening
삶들도
to
있습니다.
specific people. However,
이
there are many
삶들이 내는
lives that have been
목소리에 귀
forgotten.
기울임으로써
We need to
그들의
open our
삶에
ears to
공감하고
these people, and we
연대하는
need to
희망
also
가득한 나의 5월을 드립니다.
have solidarity for them. My May is a month of resolution.
1980년 서울광장.
In 1980, here in Seoul Plaza, there was the May Spirit. However, I did not know much about the May 18th democracy movement, and my May was a month of ignorance. However, now I really came to realize the true meaning of May 18th democratic movement. Our May is harmony. Our May is in harmony, and it is a beautiful music made in harmony. We need to share the May spirit, we need to be united, and we need to seek harmony. And I give the May to all of you.
유공자와 일반 시민, 학생을 비롯한
You have just
5명이
watched Giving You May, a
주제
video
영상.
participated by
희망
5
가득한
individuals, the
5월을
persons of
드립니다.
merit and bereaved
오셨습니다.
family of May
부디
18
우리의
movement,
5월이
citizens and
모두의 바람처럼
students.
희망
And I
가득한
sincerely
5월이길
hope
바랍니다.
that our May will be
이어서
full of
대합창국
hope.
행복의 나라를
Next, the
바리톤
Teachers
김태한
Combined
씨와
Choir of
소프라노
Korea,
한예원
together
씨의
with
선도로
baritone Kim Tae-han
대한민국
and soprano Han
교사연합
Ye-won,
합창단이
will sing the
함께
land
부르겠습니다.
of happiness.
대합창곡은 온
The song
국민이
entails the
함께 행복을
desire
누리는
of
민주
Koreans to make a
대한민국을 향해
democratic country
나아가자는
where everyone
의미를
enjoys
담고 있습니다.
happiness.
장막을 거둬라 너의
세상을 떠보자
창문을 열어라 춤추는 산들 바람을 한 번 더 느껴보자
가벼운 물만으로 나를 걷게 주세 온갖 새들의 소리 듣고 싶소 고개 숙인 그대여 눈을 떠보세 귀도 또 기울이세
아침에 일어나면 자신 찾을 수 없이 밤과 같고 별 없이 고개 들어보시 손에 손을 잡고서 청춘 가을 고개 뒷장 넘기며 하늘은 날 바로 하늘을 또 불러요 나를 행복에 나로 갑시다
감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
5월은 산과들의 꽃이 피는
May is a
계절입니다.
month where flowers
과거가
bloom in
추억이
the
아니라
mountains and
아픔이었던
fields.
사람들,
I sincerely
그리고
hope
지난 날
flowers to
때문에
bloom
무릎
in the
꿇어야
hearts
했던
of
사람들
those
가슴에
who had to
5월이
endure pain
아름다운
and
꽃으로
suffering.
피어나길 기원합니다. 그래서 다 함께 꽃피는 5월을 노래하는
And with this,
행복의
I
나라로
also
갈 수
hope that we
있길
can truly head
소망합니다.
towards the land of happiness, singing May,
끝으로
a month
임을 위한
of blooming.
행진곡 제창이
Lastly,
있겠습니다.
singing of the
모두
March for
자리에서
the
일어나
Beloved,
함께
please
손을
rise
맞잡고
from where you
반주에
are,
맞춰
hold hands,
힘차게
and join us in
불러주시기
singing
바랍니다.
the song together.
우리가 사는 세상이 발전할 수 있는
Our
것은
world
우리가
is
더
getting better
나은
because we
세상을
are
바라기
always longing
때문입니다.
for a better world.
42년 전
And
광주가
42 years
보여준
ago,
위대한 용기를
the
기억하고
courage shown in Gwangju, we
민주주의를
shall
향한
remember this
열망으로
courage
서로의
and also
마음을
remember their desire
모아야
for
할 때입니다.
democracy, and we need to stay united.
이상으로 제42주년
This
5.18
brings us to the
민주화운동
end of
기념식을
the
마치겠습니다.
42nd anniversary
귀한
of the May
시간을 내어
18
참석해
democratic
주신 내빈
movement.
여러분께 다시
Thank you very
한번
much
깊은
for
감사의
your time
말씀을
and your
드립니다.
presence.
Now, that was the 42nd anniversary of the May 18th movement ceremony. Now, of course, 42 years ago today, it was the very people of Gwangju that fought for the democracy of South Korea. Now, we live in an era where we oftentimes forget that democracy isn't just handed down to us, but it was, of course, earned through the very heroes that we, of course, pay tribute to at this very day. Now, for all of us, again, Arirang and News and all of us here at Arirang TV, we continue to remember all the fights and all the hard-earned democracies and, of course, the heroes that continue to fight for the democracy, not just here in Korea, but all over the world as well. We do thank all of our listeners and viewers for taking part in our live telecast of the 42nd May 18th Gwangju Democratization Movement ceremony. And of course, do stick around for more updates in our later newscast as well. Not to mention, have a great day wherever you are. Take care.